cloud is looking pretty grey. I was listening to something this morning, and it's just a thought to kind of share. It's from a spiritual teacher, and he talks about that we're all divine sparks, and that we come here to earth, and our bodies change throughout time, and we all look different. We all have that divinity within us. I had to move under a thing because it was raining. The word namaste, that's when people say that, they say what is divine in me recognizes what is divine in you. I think that's really nice. Kind of talked about this idea of, before we come to earth, our souls, whatever you want to call it, we kind of pick our challenges. We all have pain. We all have pain and we all have challenges. Usually comes from upbringing. It's this idea that our souls actually wanted that, and that was our purpose. The challenges in front of us, the shortcomings, let's say, or the behaviors of our family or where we were born, those are the challenges that our soul picked before it came here. It welcomed that. It didn't come here. Look, we start with nothing and we return to nothing. It didn't come here to collect all this shit that you can't take with it anyway. It came here to collect experiences. And when it was on the buffet of life, when it saw how your father was, and that he has these faults with him, and that was going to mess you up as a kid, and your mother, she was like this, and that was going to mess you up, and your siblings, they're like this, and that was going to mess you up in a certain way. Even though we might think, oh, look at all the pain in my life, there was this idea, and look, I don't know if a soul's true. It's not for me to say, it's for you to think about. But it's this idea that our soul, that spark inside us before we came down here, before we spawned here, was like, yes, I'll pick that mess, because that mess is going to give me the opportunity to have certain unique life experiences and gather those experiences. And that's what our soul's after. Our soul is after learning lessons and developing. And I just thought it was an interesting thing to listen to, and something to share. This idea that, well, those things that you think are the things, that terrible things that have, people might turn into victims for, welcome them. Brilliant, because that's your purpose. That's the muddle, that's the mess you get to get out of. And I think that's quite an empowering, whether it's true or not, or nonsense, whatever. When we think in those terms, it's quite an empowering way to think. So, wanted to share that with you today. Despite lying underneath this thing, I'm still getting pretty wet, so I'm going to move and go and eat some food.